Welcome to all Bondex to another, or actually, it's just now the second session of Bondex Talks. We've rebranded the way that we're going to be doing live streams, and we're very lucky today. We have quite a big player in the space. Welcome, Vugar Usi, the COO of Bitget. Bitget really needs no introduction, but obviously it's one of the largest exchanges in the world, the crypto exchanges in the world. It was established in 2018, is now in the top 10, and it has over 20 million users and more than 1,500 employees. So we have lots of things to talk about. And Vugar, please, if you can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your background experience and how you ended up as the COO of one of the largest exchanges in the world.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Vugar. I'm the COO of the Bitget. And thanks for having me today. And also today is one of the greatest day because we just hit a bigger numbers. We today serve 35 million customers globally. And also thanks to our Bitget wallet that also beat MetaMask and some other competitors and was the most downloaded wallet in this space. And I'm very proud that Bitget is leading both centralized exchange side, but also degen and decentralized end of the world. And also we are number 3 in derivative markets. We're the number 1 copy trading platform. And since I took over, we managed to surpass all the growing metrics. We became fastest growing crypto exchange in the world by attracting more than $700 million in past half a year. It's been a very busy, let's say, time for me. And prior joining centralized exchange, I always say this story. Usually people come to crypto to earn money, but I came to crypto back in 2017 when I exited my startup and I wanted to find a new way to make sure that I don't lose my money to inflation and all the uncertainties happening both in political sphere and also economics. And I end up investing in crypto, building ventures in crypto, and actually working in crypto. Today, I'm very proud that I'm leading a team of 1,500 professionals across 65 countries. We are a truly 24/7 global exchange that runs across multiple time zones. Someone wakes up in Tokyo, someone goes to sleep in London, and it's still a day before in Americas. Therefore, it's a very exciting place to be at.
Damn, that was quite the introduction, and congratulations on hitting all those KPIs and metrics. You guys are certainly kicking ass. I think there's been a vacuum on the centralized exchange field in the last year, and you've certainly taken advantage of it, getting more share and going up in the rankings. So congratulations for all of that. That's incredibly impressive. I'd love to touch a little bit more on your career because you're very humble in just touching on a startup. I did a little bit of research on you. I know you've been more than a 15-year career that spans from even Sony to other places. So I love we're a talent platform. We are the Web3 LinkedIn. So I always love to talk about people's professionals journey because I think it inspires everyone, whether they're Web3 or not, or just Web3 curious, to understand that you can have a career that touches many fields, industry skills, and then starting Web3 later on. So can you tell us a little bit more about your career?
Sure. I come from a very Middle Eastern family, and those who listen to us from Middle East, you know that it's very hard to satisfy your parents and your family. No matter what you do, is never enough. Or from the Indian subcontinent, people definitely would agree with me on that front. I come from a very academically strong family, and for my parents, studying and being strong in academics was very important, and there wasn't an alternative. Therefore, I ended up going and studying very, very hard because both my mom and my dad, they were very much helping us through our classes. It was like a very strict regimen to making sure that we become someone very strong in our studies. And I always wanted to become a lawyer, but then eventually I ended up in marketing because with my dad, we couldn't agree whether I should become an engineer. I wanted to become a lawyer. And eventually we agreed that if I do something in economics or marketing field, it has enough mathematics to satisfy his engineer mind, and still it has this element of defending what you believe in. The way lawyer goes to the court to defend the defendant, I believe a business person, a marketeer defends the brand, the company they're building in. And eventually I did my bachelor's in marketing. I was top of my class, and I started my career at the Carlsberg Group, one of the biggest beer breweries and beverage companies in the world. And Since then, I had this immense love for beer, and it still continues. But my career took me to various places. As you mentioned, I worked one of the Fortune top 100 companies in the world, Sony, where I also work with the entertainment sector, mainly with the PlayStation and gaming industry. And today I'm one of the keen investors in the Web3 gaming and play to earn ecosystem because of that idea. And most of people who listen to us, I'm sure you are tapping on the hamsters, on Tone, and all the other exciting things that are happening in a Web3. Definitely, this is one aspect. I also was consulting in a professional capacity at Bain and Company, one of the largest consultancies in the world, both for institutions and the governments, and that gives me
Hmm.
some strong background on the legislation and definitely policy making. And I was always keen into understanding how governments are run, how legislations are made, and mainly this interest piqued my mind when I was at Facebook. I'm sure you all know about Facebook's Cambridge Analytica case and user data protection and eventually having GDPR. That really motivated me and gave me that understanding that as a team member, as an employee, as a partner in a company, we also have our responsibilities. Therefore, I chose to go back to studies. I did my master's at Harvard on technology policy. I looked at different policy making cases. And also, eventually, I did my PhD at Oxford University on economics. I looked at different cases of global expansions like Uber. Therefore, I've been to different places, and I'm really happy that I ended up building things in crypto. And I want to give a shout out to everyone listening to us. I believe that most of the skills we have, they're transferable. If you are a marketeer, you can come and become a Web3 marketeer. If you are an accountant, you can become a Web3 accountant. If you are an HR, we need a lot of HR people. If you have a law background, we need policymakers. Because the Web3 is such a young industry, like every skill you have, probably there is a Web3 version of it that can be easily transferred. And I think Web3 is an exciting place to work because we're open-minded. You are not bound with location. You can travel. There are so many opportunities out there in Web3 that definitely beats the traditional 9 to 5.
100% in agreement with you, and that's such an impressive career with such variety. I mean, you started in beer and gaming, which every crypto bro can probably relate to and love, to consulting at one of the best consulting companies in the world, to PhD in technological policy at Oxford. I was at Oxford for a little bit myself at Keble College. If you come, I'm based in London. If you come by, I would love to have a cup of tea and
Amazing.
for us to have a chat.
You have to go for a
Um,
beer if you are in London, no?
I was just trying to be English, but yes, we will certainly have a beer. Your choice, or unless you trust me to pick a place. But honestly, fantastic. We need more people like this working in the space because they bring such a variety of skills and knowledge bases that can help the industry and propel it forward. So I'm very much happy that you are the COO in charge at Bitget. And with that, let's go into trends of 2024. You already mentioned one. There's three. I'm gonna let you pick. I'm gonna let you pick two out of three. So AI and crypto, institutional adoption, and the current state of the market, including we can talk about meme coins and tap games.
I think we
What do
can
you choose?
tap all three because all three are exciting.
All
Uh,
right.
where
Let's
to
start with
start?
AI and crypto.
With AI, I will be very short and precise. Definitely, AI is a very hot topic with all the investment coming in, and it's definitely where the money is. And when people talk about AI and crypto, they always say that, oh, because there is a money in AI, crypto people try to kind of bank on it. But I don't agree with that. And my justification is all the AIs we have today, they kind of trained on a data that we humans created. But now AI is creating more data. Today, almost 60% of entire internet or output of the user generated content is done by the bots and AI. Therefore, further we go, we will have this understanding to we will have this problem to understand who created what. And the way today we have to do the capture to prove the robots that we are humans, I believe blockchain can help everyone, both robots, AI, machine learning, technology, and the humans to understand what is created by who. And that digital imprint can help us to differentiate original content created by humans and artificially generated or synthetic content by the devices. And I believe it's very important. And there are so many great ventures out there exactly doing the same. They put information on blockchain technology to make sure that the content is created by humans, original, can be verified. And of course, for the tech savvy people who listen to us, definitely there are a lot of very complicated technological implications, how blockchain can help zero knowledge data transfers, or if you hold the data, that the MLM modules can come and train on this data without actually accessing that data, anonymity, and all the other like a very complicated technical aspects. Therefore, definitely AI and blockchain are kind of made for each other.
I love it. I mean, I agree. To me, the best combination is human plus AI, right? I actually think that that combination is superior to the standalone alternatives, right? The machines are better at things than humans, and humans do things that machines cannot do. The combination is very powerful. But I love what you're saying because it's a big topic. IP, people are afraid of losing their jobs. So proof of humanity on the blockchain can be very powerful in making sure that you know the source of what you're consuming with content. So that's extremely powerful. I had never thought of that application, but that makes a lot of sense. And that's something we're working on here at Bondex. At Bondex, we basically see trust as a very powerful economic force that can only be determined by your reputation. And that's why our professional network is all based on reputation to enable those trust and those exchange or interactive mechanisms. But I love what you said. Next up is
Before we jump
institutional.
on to the next thing, can I give a small anecdote? Because we were discussing with our HR friends and headhunter friends, especially, because everyone kind of uses ChatGPT and AI, and we became in this dilemma because HR professionals use ChatGPT to do these perfect job descriptions, and then people learned how to go and build the perfect CVs for that perfect job descriptions.
Yeah.
And eventually we have AI job descriptions and AI CVs, and you have perfect job on paper with perfect candidate on paper. And still we need so much time. Now, actually, when you use AI, almost our interview times doubled because you have too many perfect candidates you need to choose from, while without human to human interaction, it's not possible. Therefore, when we try to deploy everything to AI, it is not always goes the way we all want because it is accessible for everyone.
Now we're going to get deep into this because this is something that we work on at Bondex every day. You're completely right. Basically, traditional filters that you have in HR software that are now using AI, they basically scan and do keyword matching and natural language processing. And then now people have figured out they put the job description into ChatGPT, make me the perfect resume for this, make me the perfect cover. Then guess what? Your applicant tracking system or HR software, boom, match. And this person has really kind of lied or embellished everything. So now, as you're saying, if you have 200 applicants, you have to filter to get to the right one. Now you have to dedicate twice the amount of time. That is so much time and money that would enlarge it. How does blockchain play a role in this? You've mentioned proof of humanity. What about proof of skill, proof
It
of
is
work,
proof of
proof of
skill,
education?
work, proof of education, but also now think about if our CVs were on chain, it means every
Uh-huh.
change we made, every lie we said would also be on chain, and you couldn't do that. And if every job description we put was on chain approved by the previous employer, we will have everything so transparent, and you couldn't go and just become perfect person on paper with 100 different version of your CVs.
Correct. I completely agree. That's what we're working on. That's the next iteration of the Bondex profile is ramping up the on-chain. We actually had a call right before this about what is the next on-chain. Is it proof of skill or is it proof of work, right? So we're working on it. We're working on it. You'll be happy to know that I think in the next year will be the blockchain equivalent that providing a more trusted talent infrastructure. So stay tuned for that. And then something to the next subject. Institutional adoption. You guys are one of the largest institutions. You guys also list, you provide the crucial infrastructure for the trading and liquidity of all of the projects out there. So you guys have an incredible kind of, 3,000 feet view of the space. So what do you see on the institutional adoption side? Is that where the next billion users come from?
I'm not sure if there's the next billion users, but next $1 billion is definitely there because crypto is a small industry. It's just do something $1 trillion. And 2 3 days ago, when stock market closed with a huge wipeout, more money was wiped out than entire crypto ecosystem. Just to explain how traditional finance is so huge. And imagining all these institutions coming into the crypto, especially since in the beginning of the year we had Bitcoin ETF approved and then Ethereum ETF approved in US, then Hong Kong and Australia came, and more stock markets are adopting this. Therefore, that need is super huge because this adoption is about banks, is about boomers, is about my parents, your parents, people who will not hold their own wallets. They would not even touch that digital asset, but they will be calling their bank managers and buying it the same way they bought the stocks and bonds. Therefore, we need a huge infrastructure that can work with this very old style technical people, banks, and therefore we are the one of the, also we believe in that it's very important to work with institutions. And when we talk about working with institutions, it's not about that like a boring kind of a paper transactions. One of my favorite product at Bitget is the Bitget card. It is built on the Visa and MasterCard ecosystem because if there's a technology, why go reinvent the wheel? But now, the same way you can have a multi-currency bank card where you can have your euros and dollars and pounds and dirhams in together and spend, we have USDTs and Bitcoins and BGBs that you can spend the same way you do, just using your Visa card. But until that last second transaction, you just hold your own digital asset. Therefore, I believe institutions will help us to reach both more retail and attract more capital to the industry. Therefore, we need to develop more institutional products, and that's what we are investing in at Bitget.
I could not be more aligned with you in that line of thinking. I myself, my background is from investment banking and working at a large bank, say with my co-founder. And the thing is that Web3 can be a little bit, it's a spectrum, or there's different factions, right? And there are people who are decentralized everything. We're going against the institutions. This was made anti the banks. And actually, I don't agree with that completely. Not everything needs to be decentralized or tokenized. I think that you need to grab the good things and be able to integrate them with the institutions to reach the mass audiences and mass use cases and enough volume. If we only build products and utilities for the most crypto native degen audience and user base, we're isolating ourselves in a very small market, and then crypto and blockchain will never be a universal industry. I think we need to be building things for the 500 million people around the world that already own digital assets, things that are consumer friendly, things that are easy to use, and we need those big institutions to adopt it in order to consume all of that block space and infrastructure we've been building and propel that mass adoption. So I could not be more in agreement with you.
Perfect. Yeah, that's true. Also, I think we need to be also a little bit fair to Web3 and crypto and blockchain technology, because when we talk about something that is 10, 15 years old, and then you have banks that are like 200-300 years old, especially like you're based in London, all these institutions that have so many decades to rebuild and reinvent and do things to themselves. I don't know, first ATM just popped up 30 years ago or something. Therefore, we shouldn't be expecting Web3. I know because of the technology, we want everything fast happen now, but we also need some, room to breathe and understand how we can do things. And therefore, it's very important that instead of going and reinventing things that took 200 years to invent, we can just build on existing infrastructure. And I think that's why instead of thinking in two different buckets, like a traditional finance and blockchain, we have to think how we can work together. And if there's an existing infrastructure, let's go build on it.
You're preaching to the choir. I think one of the things that happens with crypto is that people can sometimes be too short-term minded, right? I think the industry, has this side of it that is a bit too, which is, listen, it's a service, right? Casino is a service, speculation, like it is a use case and a need, but people need to understand that getting rich fast actually leads to unhappiness. You want to get rich slow. You want to get in shape slow. You want to earn it. You want to go step by step. So yes, we want things fast and we want the disruption fast and we want technology fast. Good products are very hard to build. They need to mature. They need to be iterated. They need to be battle tested, improved. In order for them to mature to actually cater to an enterprise, it takes a long time. So I encourage patience. There's going to be a million cycles in between, but it needs to be about the long-term trajectory of the industry and its capability to build, those robust products and services. I could not agree with you more. Everyone needs a little bit more patience and be a little bit, look at the long-term goal. I agree.
Definitely. And I think like slowly we can move to your third question, which was about trends and like this like a short-term appetite of the crypto
Now
people.
let's talk about the casino. Okay, so this is something that's actually that we've seen in the state of the market. It's been a pretty crazy. I don't know if I call it a bull run. It's been a Bitcoin rally. Now there's been like a summer lull, ETF approvals. But this is, in my opinion, the state of the market today, right? So there's these new tap app trends, which I love because it's a Web2 product that it is connected to the Ton ecosystem and blockchain, and they're connected, and they've invented this new thing that is basically at the intersection of memes and gaming. And in fact, we've developed a little mini app ourselves. And then on the other side, I've seen that the summer the alt projects have struggled with liquidity and attention because they didn't have to compete with meme coins before, in my view. So most of the liquidity is on meme coins now. There's a lot of trading. That's how I see things at the moment. But I think alts are needed, and they're the best use case. So I'm hoping that the market picks up in Q3, Q4. There's a lot of macro that needs to go into that: CPI, inflation, the rates, etc. Um, but I'm hoping that alt season is coming soon. But I would love for you to give us, that's me talking. I am building a Web3 LinkedIn. The CEO of Bitget is going to have much more interesting views on all these trends than me.
More than CEO of a Bitget, like as an economist, I have this like I was checking the market all like at least 2000 since 2017, and all the bull runs before were led by Bitcoin and the way Bitcoin moved because Bitcoin went, there was more money was reinvested, the captured value was reinvested to all the layer ones, layer zeros, like all the alt projects, and it went together. Today, the money that comes to Bitcoin stays in Bitcoin. It just changes hand. Bitcoin price definitely will go up, but it is not necessarily cascaded down because most of the money is institutional money that again changes hand. Therefore, like Bitcoin is in its own journey, separate journey, and then all the entire crypto ecosystem is in its own separate journey. And because for many years the narrative was put $100 become a millionaire overnight, people who kind of missed on Bitcoin and all the other things, they're today not interested to go to buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. Probably Bitcoin will not do as fast 10x as all the other projects. Why meme coins are new NFTs in my opinion? Because this is your chance to do another 10x or 100x, and getting rich quick is a narrative that's been always here. While we had this like a meme coin rush for last 1 year, at least like a solid year, we had everyone like meme coin project coming up and banking on the community, and community is the strong aspect of the crypto. There are two important reasons why. Reason number one was again, people want to be rich. But reason number two is that when you build a traditional Web2 venture, another Uber, another Airbnb, or let's say Figma, you will have investors coming and investing $8 billion throughout, I don't know, 10 years to you without expecting you to any returns. They don't exit. And you can build $1 billion venture. Unfortunately, in crypto, you can't. Every VC, every investor would want, I don't know, 8 to 10 months lock period, maximum a year or two. They will want to start selling. As a builder, you have a pressure to build a product, onboard the users, and make sure that you can build a product that can resist that sell pressure, your token price don't go down. liquidity, market makers, so many players in there for a small startup. It's very hard, and therefore when you build a meme coin project, you take the most time and capital heavy part of it. Product, you don't have a product, you have a community, you have the coin, and all this happens in a market. That is another reason why we saw a lot of meme projects popping up and people trading. But then came tap to earn games, because even though like meme coins were banking on community, as humans we want to feel that achievement psychologically, and I call it IKEA effect. The way you buy furniture from IKEA, come build it at home, you think that you built it, you feel proud about what you accomplished, and that affordable furniture now looks very luxurious because you kind of made it. The same way when we tap, what we are doing, we are not doing much, right? We're just tapping on a screen, but we have that sense of accomplishment that we have done something to earn that coins. It's no more given to you, or it's no more like a meme coins, you purchase them, you actually farm them, you tap them, you did some action, and that gives you feel of accomplishment. We are still yet to see what happens once that tokens are listed and being traded, what are the future of these tokens. But again, this is where we are at today. Easy bit product, importance of community to make cash quickly. Unfortunately, this is today's narrative. Therefore, I'm not sure if you are still on a full-fledged like a bull market or not. But when it comes to alts or like a large projects, we definitely need an infrastructure. And
Of course.
infrastructure perspective, I believe meme coins and all these tap to earn projects are important, because we saw that thanks to that traffic and that user interaction, market caps grew. We saw a lot of different projects that were keen to launch meme tokens or different projects on them. Of course, everything started with Ethereum's Doge, and then it cascaded to everyone else. Therefore, I believe even for the alts and layer twos, layer ones, it's very important to tap all the aspects of the crypto ecosystem, whether you can build something very like a built by nerds for the nerds, but you can also bank on entertainment.
Okay, that's very interesting because sometimes I feel that um, all the attention, resources, and bandwidth, and the amount of people working on meme coins and all that liquidity was maybe leaving alts a bit, kind of neglected, let's say. And so, but to me, it's more important to build all that infrastructure on the alts than it is maybe just a marketing place. I do love the tap game narrative. In fact, we've grabbed our mascot Bondin because our saying is follow the green rabbit. It's a play on the Matrix. Follow the green rabbit into a job in Web3 out of your boring cubicle, like Neo does in the film, and kind of takes the red pill. And so we made a little tap game because of what you're saying. People, we want for them to come to the memes and entertainment, and then stay for the real world use case and the dApp that we've built, and see it as a marketing tactic and a user acquisition tactic. But I'm interested to see how things develop. Once we start kind of like post summer, what the dynamics are, because you've hit it right. Like Bitcoin makes money, Ethereum makes money. Those gains get recycled into alts. Now the memes are competing for that liquidity with the alts, so the dynamics are changing, right? So it's going to be interesting to see. But let's.
The user perspective, you want to earn something in a short term, you want to have like a mid-term and long term. Therefore, meme coins are there for short term, while alts are kind of a mid, and then Bitcoin and Ethereum and top 10 is there for like a long term. And if you build your portfolio around this, you'll be safe.
Portfolio diversification theory, right? So Vugar, you got it there. You guys have the tip. Have your portfolio with some long-term, medium-term, and short-term. This is not financial advice from either of us. This is just diversification portfolio theory as it applies to the crypto asset classes. Moving on to more things, and I just want to focus more on Bitget as an organization. And you being the CEO of managing a massive organization, we love to talk about Dex about talent and how companies work. So I'd love to know a little bit about user acquisition, right? It is it's everyone knows the centralized exchange space is basically an arms race. So I wanted to know, how do you guys approach user acquisition and user adoption?
Uh, I always say like overnight success takes a lot of planning, and even though we were founded in 2018, it took us 2 years to came up with our winning product, which is copy trading. Today we have more than 160,000 traders that post their trades that can be copied. It means if you are someone joining new and you don't know where to start, you don't know how to do the research, you can easily copy someone's trade uh, and or do some modification on it. That's how it was kind of our first wave of the growth, and that's what made us one of the largest crypto exchanges, and we are number three by volume for our derivatives market. We process around $8 billion worth transactions every day. Then it took us another 2 years to partner with Lionel Messi, the greatest football player of all time, to be our official ambassador. And we tapped into this new audience that wasn't crypto native, but this football audience. And Messi is also face of the MasterCard. And I don't know, of course, you guys know Cristiano Ronaldo's face of Binance. Like football and financial industry was always kind of a men's game, all happening together. That's what we banked on. Today, we are proud sponsors of Turkish national athletes who made us proud in Paris during the Olympics. We sponsored Polish national team. We are also working with different institutions and organizations across the nations to build Bitget as a brand. Because in today's Bitget stage, I believe we passed that stage where we just need to fight for attention of the crypto natives. Because almost everyone, including myself, I'm sure you too, like we have all the top 5, 10 exchange apps on our phones, all this. We go, we check, see, and it's a very tough industry to compete. We compete for the transaction fees that is in 0 point something dollars. We today we offer zero fee transactions on ton. It means every transaction you do, we don't earn anything. Therefore, it's a very tough and challenging market to be, and we have to be creative both in acquiring the user and retaining the user. And I believe as a Bitget, we are doing a great job because we have several products that are as risk-free as crypto can get in. You can farm tokens from different projects by staking your ready assets without banking on them, without market fluctuation. You can deposit and withdraw at any time. We have our, as I mentioned, like a credit card product. We have so many products that cater to all the different needs. But our key goal today is first to grow the pie instead of going and fighting for the existing clients of our competitors like a Binance, OKX, Bybit, let it be. We want to acquire new users, educate more people, and our attempt wasn't only about being a greedy and getting user for ourselves or getting a talent for ourselves. Our actually strategy is how we can help the entire market grow. What we can do, whether we want to invest, whether build that long-term strategy to nurture talent, grow new talent, or bring in new users.
I am. I'm honestly super impressed by the outlook that BitGet and your, yeah, your way of looking at things, right? Not greedy. Release more value into the into the industry and market and into people than you take for yourselves, and you will have a good business, right? You know, my next question was going to be about the challenges. What are the biggest challenges that you see facing exchanges today? And but you kind of, and what are the Web3 adoption barriers? I think you already answered one of them, which is education and providing education to onboard those new users. But I'd love to talk about what are the biggest challenges that you see facing exchanges today.
I think it's not exchanges. Like I believe every venture in crypto, the biggest challenge is talent shortage. We fight for the same talent. It is very hard to get, and beyond like a Web3 industry, I meet a lot of financiers and bankers from different nations, like a head of central banks, and almost all nation today wants to pass a legislation on crypto, I don't know, regulation. But these people don't have enough lawyers to build legislation. They don't have enough workforce that can process that licenses, and they don't even have enough educated lawyers and judges that can process any complaints that happen in future. Therefore, embracing a change also is a very talent intensive. On from the business point, since I joined, every given day, Bitget had at least 100 open positions to fill. We hired more than 120 compliance team members across the globe, and we keep hiring because we have this demand. And how many exchanges you have there? How many large foundations and ventures that have this kind of aspect? And hiring and growing a team is always good. It looks very good on numbers. When I come here and I say we have more than 1,500 team members across 65 countries, but then we need human resources professionals to manage this team. We need, I don't know, we need accountants to pay their salaries and then build their contract. And we need a lot of marketing people to build these nice campaigns and onboard people. If you, today, for example, now we have this a crypto experience month where we do a lot of physical events almost in all markets. Yesterday we had 12 events happening at the same time globally. It's a very workforce intensive, and growth journey takes a lot of manpower, and it's a business at the end of the day by humans for humans. And as we had this discussion in the beginning of our talk, whether we talk technology, we still need humans. We need humans build that technology, train that technology, work with that technology. Therefore, having talent, I think, is one of the most important aspects in this business, because without enough people we can't grow, and if we can't grow, things won't happen. We need enough builders, we need enough of everything. And it is not only about today we need a lot of people who will code, but it goes beyond that coding.
I mean, we need also to tap into a bridge to bring new people into the industry, not just fishing in the same pool and competing for the same pool, because the number of people that have already worked in Web3 is limited. I mean, Vugar, everything you've said, that's what we're building at Bondex. That's our mission, right? That's our bread and butter. That's what we're trying to do, is build, and we're the leading Web3 professional network. So we are trying to make a better model based on Web3 principles and technology to help companies find the talent that they need, but also to allow the talent to get those opportunities in a more disintermediated way. So I love everything you've said. Talent is the most, I don't see talent as an industry. I see it as a critical asset, and an asset class that it's critical to any business in any stage in any industry, but we need new ways to get it. And let me just go into the last thing, but I love that answer so much, because of it validates the use case that we're building ourselves, right? But I want to go into what you guys are doing for education and talent, right? Because I know you guys have a fantastic, program empowering builders and youth talent. Bondex has been part of it. But tell me a little bit more about the Crypto Experience Month of 2024, Blockchain for Youth. I know you guys have, campus lectures, over more than 6,000 participants, 50 universities. Tell us more about that initiative you guys are leading.
As I mentioned, like before, at Bitget, we look at things very long-term strategic rather than today. Bitcoin price is 50K, tomorrow is 60K, what we have to do. And compared to all the large competitors, for example, we never did a massive layoff. Also, we never hired like a crazy growth. While our competitors at the peak of the market had like 8,000 people, the moment bear market started, they fired half of their workforce. We never did that. On the other hand, because we believe in decentralized future, we invested $30 million in Bitget wallet in the middle of the bear market where everyone was kind of squeezing and not spending. And on this slide, we decided that we want to, as I mentioned, invest in talent and grow the market. We didn't care if we today nurture 10 professionals and they go work for our competitors, because we wanted more people to come to the industry and more people to come and build. Therefore, we have $10 million blockchain for use fund that we pledge to spend in the next 5 years, where we support both like venture builders, believers, and people who want to know about crypto and come to the crypto. On other hand, we have another $10 million pledge for a project called Blockchain for Use, because Bitget itself is run by a female CEO, and we want more female entrepreneurs to come to the industry and more female professionals who will come and work in the industry. Therefore, when you have this like a kind of a big $10 million fund, we decided that best way to approach talent is to grow, because as you mentioned, we shouldn't be going and fishing for the existing talent. It's like a 10 people out there. We believe that the best way to reach them was the universities, because there are so many fresh graduates, they don't know what to do, they go fight for that I don't know, summer internships in Goldman Sachs and all the time, and there are so many people who are left out from that opportunities. Therefore, we wanted to give that fresh look, that even though you go to university and you know nothing about blockchain, and you are the future journalist, or you are a future designer, or you are a future HR professional or marketeer, you can come and work in crypto. And it is not as scary or as complicated as it sounds, because usually, first time when we go to these campuses, I recently did a lecture at the university in Turkey for a journalist. Everyone was thinking that they will need to start coding about something. And I told that you don't need to code. You can still be a journalist who writes about finance, and who can come and write about crypto and crypto news and what's happening in this industry. Or you are a designer, you can come and build a user-friendly product that will help us to do mass adoption. Therefore, we've been partnering with all leading universities globally. And recently, we are planning to announce two amazing projects with the top three universities globally to have more adoption and more knowledge. And we believe it's very important to educate the young generation of the professionals. And in my opinion, because as I mentioned, like I started my career at Carlsberg, and since then I'm in love with beer. And imagine if someone starts their career at blockchain, I believe they'll be in love with the blockchain also. But jokes aside, I believe it's very important that we capture that talent the moment they come to the market, and grow them together with the industry.
Well, that's incredible. I encourage everyone listening to go check out all the resources that Bitget is providing on the educational front, on the youth front. Share it with your friends. Share it with your friends that are in college. Share it with your friends that are looking for a new career path and they're excited about crypto, and help spread the word. And honestly, I think you guys are doing fantastic. Just your mentality. Is the opposite of, I think, a lot of the ethos of short term, and you guys are really building for long term, sustainable, on the pillars of education, right? Which I really really love. So Vugar, I just wanna, we're coming to the end of the interview. I want to thank you for your invaluable time, and I hope everyone enjoyed it today. And Vugar, any last words that you want to leave us with?
Uh, First of all, I encourage everyone to come and like kind of get in touch with Bitget, whether through socials, whether myself directly, and check our socials. We post a lot about the events we host, and almost all of them are free. Definitely, you might be needing pre-registered that we can accommodate the capacity, but rest of the time it's always free, and there's a lot of free knowledge available on our social media, on our YouTube channel, and also Bitget Academy. I think it's a great place to start, and definitely check out our job portal, and of course the Bondex, to find the next opportunity at Bitget. We are very happy to onboard new people to our company and build it stronger together. And definitely my advice for everyone, that crypto is not only about going and trading. Yes, trading and short-term gains can be one of the opportunities, but there are so many opportunities that are more than that. You can build, you can design, you can develop, you can write about, you can think, and you can learn about crypto at any point. Therefore, please, please, please embrace that.
That's right. Just to go on what we were saying, you don't just need developers and engineers in blockchain. Business development, sales, marketing, legal, accounting, everything that you would need for a fintech startup is what this kind of skills that are needed in any of the Web3 companies that are out there in the space. So you just need to find what your skill set is, or develop and upskill, reskill yourself, and go and start your career in Web3 today. Go on the